Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Today we're going to discuss, let's put the whole amount of letters in that. We're going to discuss my top shows of the year so far. I knew I wanted to film this video, but at the same time I had some videos pre-recorded, so I wanted those to go up first. So instead of doing like the end of June, which would be like the halfway point, we're doing it not quite mid-July and that's okay. That is absolutely fine. So if you want to know what I think are the best shows I've seen so far this year, then stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. So here we go. I counted my list. If you don't know, I don't know if anyone else does this or if it's just a me thing, but I write a list on my phone of every show I see in a year. It's been going since 2017, where my list was pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. It started with In the Heights at King Cross Theatre and ended the year at Matilda. There were some good shows in 2017, but that's by the by. And we are currently obviously in 2023, and I've gone through my list, I've had a think, and here are what I think are the best shows that I've seen this year so far. And we're going, the only way we can do this, in chronological order. So starting off with January. January saw one of my favourite things that I still think of to this day and still listen to the cast recording-ish of, and also the closing of a show that's very close to my heart, which is obviously going to get a mention. So number one on my list of shows that I loved this year and I'm still thinking about and still listening to, that is Moulin Rouge at the Piccadilly Theatre. I saw it because I wanted to see it, but I didn't really know anything going into it, and I was blown away by the production of it all, the cast, everything about it was just insane. Like, there are moments in that show that you literally don't know where to stare, don't know where to look. You are attacked in all senses and you're just like, okay, how am I getting out of this situation? And then there are moments that just feel so like beautiful. I still really want to go back to see this show before the end of the year because I didn't actually see Jamie Muscato on as Christian. I had his understudy, who was also excellent. If my memory serves me correctly, which is always a bit iffy, his understudy that I saw was Robson Broad, who was still absolutely phenomenal. But all of the times you see Jamie Muscato doing all the press for Moulin Rouge and you're like, okay, I'm aware I need to see it with you in the flesh, not just on TikTok, not just in like random clips on YouTube. So I hopefully will make a journey back before he leaves the show. But yeah, I have to mention it in my favourites so far this year just because it was just a sense, it was something for every sense and it felt a lot, but when you consider the story that it has to go through, you need something that is a lot. And no Act 2 beginning has hit any better since January as a backstage romance. That is a way to start Act 2, just saying. Sticking in January, we obviously had the closing of My Beloved. We're not going to talk about it too much, although it's going to be Birmingham at Christmas time. I already have tickets for closing. I haven't got any other tickets, but me and a friend decided to go and watch Closing together. So I think it's January the 28th, 3:30 on a Sunday afternoon. You know where to find me. I will be crying in Narnia. It is such a magical show. I'm so excited it is going to be very close to me over the Christmas period, and I'm very excited to see who they cast in every single role in the Birmingham production. The London one has my heart. It is such an epic show. The story is obviously well known. Everything about the show is brilliant. It was actor, musician, it was just lovely, it was warm, it was like everything. There was a maid of magic, there was a lot of the cast of Amelie. It had everything going for it, and yeah, it was amazing, and I was glad I was there for the last day. Unfortunately I didn't do the last show because they had an evening performance and I went to the matinee, but to be there on the last day was kind of special, so I wanted to mention that and obviously get the plug in to go and watch it at the Rep. They're not paying me, they don't even know I exist, but I just wanted to put it out there. Moving forth, we then go into March for my next favourite. March almost had two favourites, but I have stuck to my guns and there is one. So my March favourite, and one of my favourite shows of the year, was one that I wasn't expecting to love as much as I do, but the writing in it was excellent, the songs in it were catchy, they made us wait a very long time for the cast recording, just saying. They closed the show, then they gave it us. Bit rude. But that show is a Great British Bake Off musical. It was just everything you'd expect from a Great British Bake Off musical. Again, the cast were absolutely excellent. They were small, they were tight-knit cast, but everything about it just felt so good. I kind of liked how the show ended, in which you don't fully know who wins, but at the same time you kind of wanted them to give you a winner. You kicked everyone out and you never gave us a winner, just saying. I feel like we know who should have won, but there we go. There we go. My only problem with the entire show, I kind of wish I knew who won. There we go. Moving on to April for our next favourite. This, firstly, how has it been like 2 months, 3 months by now? April, May, June, July. Yeah, 3 months since I last saw the show, because it blew my world and I have been thinking about it since. We are soon, apparently, well, we're going to get the cast recording. They've been recording it recently, which I'm like beyond excited to have in my existence. And that is Guys and Dolls at the Bridge Theatre. Oh my god, that was an incredible production. Obviously if you saw my review about it, you'll know that I did Standing, which was an experience in itself. I'm not usually good with like physical contact and people being really close to me, and the whole thing with Standing is that if you want to be front and centre, you will have to be squished against many people you do not know. It's just the rules of the game. But again, the cast in that show were absolutely amazing. The theming of the entire theatre was just on point. I am desperate to go back. I have a few trips planned for the upcoming months, and I'm definitely debating going back to the Bridge and watching it again. Don't know whether to try seating this time or just to go for it and be on my own and do Standing, although that does strike a lot of fear into me. We shall see. But yeah, it is an amazing production. I'm so glad it is extended. and I just think it is an amazing piece of theatre, and I'm so grateful that I got to see it when I did, and hope to see it again before it closes. Sticking in April, and actually April was a really busy month for me apparently. I saw 6 things, including a concert. I like how in April my favourites of that month were the start and the end of the month, or the first show of the month and the last show of the month, because my next one I wanted to mention was Pride and Prejudice, sort of. I think I mentioned when I did my review for this show, which has now finished its tour I believe, that I am quite the die-hard Jane Austen romantic storyline kind of gal. I love a bit of Jane Austen. There's nothing that beats like sitting on a Sunday afternoon under a blanket watching men swooning over females and not really knowing how to deal with their emotions and being all stuffy about it, and then suddenly going, you know what, I'm going to just tell her bish bash bosh, they're in love, they're married, they're living in a massive house, props to them. But I didn't quite know what to expect going into Pride and Prejudice, sort of. I'd missed it at the Criterion, which I was gutted about. But oh my god, was that show amazing. It used music that was popular and kind of more recent. It was a fully female small cast. It was hilarious, it was brilliant, and I do believe there was talk of eventually coming back into London and going back into a theatre and doing another run there, and if they do that I will be there with bells on, because I just want to go and see it again. It was an absolutely amazing piece of theatre, and yeah, it was great. I just want to go back. I really would like to go back, please. May saw me seeing a certain other beloved show one more time before its tour ended. That is Fisherman's Friends. We all know it's part of my personality now because I did make a lot of videos on Fisherman's Friends in a short period of time. I think I did like I definitely did a review when I saw it in Birmingham last year. Then I did a cast recording first impressions / chat video, and then I did a third one, didn't I, to say thank you and goodbye. So it's kind of part of my being and it's part of this channel, so I feel like if I didn't mention that I went to see it in Bristol, then where would I have been? Because the whole thing of that show just struck a chord with me. I loved it to death, and seeing it in Bristol, which is as close to the southwest and Cornwall as I've ever seen it, was just really brilliant, especially because obviously there's a whole southwest tie-in there, so some of the jokes and southwest like things about the show just struck slightly different, and it was just really nice to see that show once more before it closed. Really hope that it has another life sometime down the line. We obviously have the cast recording, which I'm not gonna lie, there is about 3 songs that will definitely be in my Wrapped of the year on Spotify. 2 which you can probably guess, 3rd one I don't know if you would. But yeah, I do quite like to listen to the cast recording, and I just hope that we get another outing of that show somewhere, somehow, sometime soon. And then we move on to last month, June, where we have one other mention. And I feel like if you've watched this channel recently, you'll know what I'm about to say, because I don't think I have spoken the praises of a show any more brightly than I did when I did my reviewy chatty video on this show. I have been listening to the cast recording quite a lot since, to the point that I create myself a little playlist starting in January and finishing in December to see how many of the Wrapped songs are the same as my favourite songs that I create or that I start to listen to throughout the year. And this cast recording, I didn't pick one, I couldn't pick one. I put the whole damn album on there on my own personal 2023 playlist, and that is Operation Mincemeat. It is an amazing piece of theatre. It has recently extended again. It was supposed to close in August. It is now closing in November. So you know that I'm going to try my hardest to go and watch it again, and probably again, and maybe again. I kind of feel like it'd be really cool to be there on closing night, but if they keep extending, how do you know when closing night is going to be? And I think I did say in my original chatty review video, which is probably 2-3 videos back, I don't think anyone has plans to put anything into the Fortune for a while, so let's be honest, we could just keep extending it and extending it and extending it. Operation Mincemeat has quite the little fandom surrounding it, and for sure there are going to be people, should I say, that will keep buying tickets and keep going and going and going, and if they realise that this is going to be the money spinner it deserves to be, then why not just keep it for a long period of time? Nobody will complain. It is amazing, hilarious. The music is brilliant too. I am desperate to learn the words to Dear Bill because it's such a beautiful song, and I want to sing it over and over again, but I get so messed up in the lyrics and in the timing of the song, but that is a me problem. But yeah, I just think it is one of my favourites of the year. If you had to give me like a top 3, I would think my top 3 for the year would, so far at least, would be the Bridge Theatre, Guys and Dolls, Operation Mincemeat, and the Bake Off, you know. I did want to mention Newsies in this as well, which was the most recent show that I have seen, because of the excellent work it has done and the cast involved and everything about it. But I didn't want to make this a stupidly long video, but I have anyway, so I'm just going to put on the end. Newsies is definitely up there with my favourites of the year so far. Kind of almost missed it, so sorry Newsies. But yeah, that is pretty much all I want to say on the matter so far. Please give me down below, if you so wish and have the time to do so, please write down what are your top 3 shows of the year so far. I'm interested to find out what they are. But I'm going to leave you here because I've whittled on for long enough and you all have places to be on a Sunday night, so I'm going to leave you here. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. Bye everyone.